Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
Well, he's the mastermind behind some of our favourite TV shows. And of course, talking about your generation, a show that played a huge role in my life. Mad as Hell is another. But Shaun Micallef is about to launch a new show tonight on the ABC. It's called Shaun Micallef's Eve of Destruction.
Wow.
Shaun, hello.
Good morning to you, Shaun.
Jonesy, Amanda, thank you very much for talking to me during Logie's week. I'm not going to the Logies. I am not nominated for a Logie, yet you have made the time to talk to somebody, me, about something that's not to do with the Logies. I congratulate you.
Well, neither of us are going either,
Oh.
and we're not nominated as well. So why don't we all sit in our pajamas together on Sunday night?
I remember being at a Logies one year and I was stroking your Logie when you won it for something.
That wasn't my Logie.
You were with your wife, who's lovely, and I said, "Can I feel that, please?" And you said, "Excuse me, she's got a name." And I said, "No,
Hey.
your Logie.
Hey.
Can I feel that Logie?" And it was quite nice to hold.
It was nice. Amanda's. You felt a Logie, haven't you? You had a Logie yourself, Amanda.
No, well, as part of a team, I felt a Logie. I haven't felt a solo Logie.
She's come close.
Come
So
close.
She's been
close.
nominated. I know she was nominated for gold and robbed, as far as I'm concerned, in terrible circumstances, Amanda. I don't know why you haven't got your Hall of Fame one yet.
Oh, aren't you kind? I think you have to be 80. So maybe next year
dead.
for me.
All dead.
All
I'm
dead.
looking forward. I'm looking forward to that. In my case,
Well, it was funny. Jonesy leaned over and said to someone last time, "Oh, I bet I wouldn't even make it into the in memoriam."
No, I was
He's
just
quite seriously. He was anxious he wouldn't be
the
included.
memoriam was playing, Shaun. Can I just? And Angela Bishop said, "I probably won't get into the memoriam about herself." And I said, "Angela, I'm thinking that I'm a chance of getting into the memoriam. So if I'm thinking that, you're certainly in the memoriam."
So an argument ensued.
yes. How very generous of both of you to be having that conversation during one of the most moving parts of the Logie. It's all about you, isn't it? All about you.
Welcome to entertainment.
Well, let's talk about Eve of Destruction. I love this premise that you ask people that if their house is about to be destroyed, what would matter to them? What kind of thing would you take, Shaun, from your place? Forget wife and children.
No, yeah. Well, like loved ones, they're okay. They're safe. Pets are safe. Your photographs are all up in the cloud. They're okay. Yes, it is an interesting psychological conundrum, isn't it? And for the most part, our guests have been very thoughtful, except for Stephen Curry, who's on tonight, who decided to bring in the most cumbersome items that he could think of. we actually had to get a truck. We had to get a truck to his house in the Macedon Ranges and bring it all the way into the city.
His favourite anvil.
Well, that would be handier. That would have been more convenient, an anvil. I, on the other hand, would have been more thoughtful for the interview and the production and picked more portable items.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do have a lot of books. I'm a bit of a comedy nerd, and I've got quite a few books that are signed by the people who wrote them. Steve Martin, John Cleese. They're all kind of very important to me. But I think I would be paralyzed with indecision if I had to only choose two. That's the problem with this show. One of many problems. The other one being that I'm hosting and have never interviewed anybody before in my life. I don't know. Fortunately, I'm not in that position. I don't have to decide.
You've interviewed people before. What are you saying?
Yeah, I had a rotten show on Channel 9 about 20 years ago.
I love that show. I've still got a sticker. Have a look at this. Hang on, while you're on the thing.
My God. I didn't know he did any merchandising for that show.
On my headphone box, look, there's you. There's a little picture of you. Just I know you can't see it next to.
Yes, I can see it.
That's you when your show on Channel 9 came out.
There you go. There's your fan.
There's your fan.
Thank you. I'm glad that it's still around, and I'm glad that I think they only made that one sticker, and it went to you.
Jonesy got it. I did a story for the living room about a club of doll collectors, and the woman said that a whole lot of female CEOs collect dolls or their childhood dolls, and they said that if there was a fire in their home, that's the first thing they would grab. These highly successful women would grab the doll that had meant the most to them when they were younger.
Oh, okay, so they would have to make that decision, that one that caused me so much angst of picking the one doll from the vast collection.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yes. I think very interestingly enough, and quite accidentally, this show has ended up because because the guest is actually handling the item and touching the item, they are kind of transported back a little bit to when they first got it, and they feel what they felt when they first received it. So we've ended up there. I thought it'd just be a laugh, have a bit of a chat about things, hear a funny story, but it's actually quite surprisingly moving every now and again, which scares me because I'm not used to human emotion. I'm a bit like Spock, on Star Trek. I don't understand. What are these? What's this water coming from your eyes? I don't understand. So it's pretty much a standard question, I think, when you go to a psychologist or something like that, and they're drilling down on your angst and your anxiety, is to ask you that very question. Apparently, usually it's a fire.
That's usually straight after the ink blots, when they give you the ink blots and they ask you about the trauma. And what
that's another great show, Jonesy.
Ink blots.
Ink blot show. I think that would be great. I could see you two both doing that well, just holding up blots,
saying, "What do you see?"
What is it? Yeah, two
By the way,
gorillas.
if my house was on fire, I'd run back to get my Rorschach ink blot collection.
And Amanda's just showing off that she actually knows the name of Rorschach ink.
Thank you.
No, she's been in therapy. She knows.
She's just showing off in front of you, Shaun. Well, I'm going to watch this show, Shaun Micallef's Eve of Destruction, tonight at 8 o'clock on ABC TV and ABC iView. Shaun Micallef, thank you for joining us.
I want to thank you two very much. You're the only commercial operation, usually my interviews are with the ABC, but you guys have made room for me during Logie's week, and I love you.
Yeah, so you've got an audience now.
Too. Oh,
Thank you, Shaun.
See ya.
Sean.